Shalom and welcome back to the Cepher Readings. Thank you for stopping by to follow along. I am Trish. All praise and glory to the Most High Yah in the name of the Son, Yahushai or Yahusha HaMashiach. All praise and glory to Him, our Father, our Creator. May this be a blessing to you and may it honor our Father. We are in Jasher, Yashar, chapter 62. In that year, being the 79th year of Yasharel, going down to Mitzrayim, died Reuben, the son of Yaakov, in the land of Mitzrayim. Reuben was 125 years old when he died, and they put him into a coffin, and he was given into the hands of his children. And in the 80th year, his brother Dan died. He was 120 years at his death, and he was also put into a coffin and given into the hands of his children. And in that year died Shusham, king of Edom, and after him reigned Hadad, the son of Bedad, for 35 years. And in the 81st year died Yishakar, the son of Yaakov, in Mitzrayim. And Yishakar was 122 years old at his death, and he was put into a coffin in Mitzrayim, and given into the hands of his children. And in the 82nd year died Asher, his brother. He was 123 years old at his death, and he was placed in a coffin in Mitzrayim, and given into the hands of his children. And in the 83rd year died Gad. He was 125 years old at his death, and he was put into a coffin in Mitzrayim, and given into the hands of his children. And it came to pass in the 84th year, that is the 50th year of the reign of Hadad, son of Bedad, king of Edom, that Hadad assembled all the children of Esau, and he got his whole army in readiness, about 400,000 men, and he directed his way to the land of Moab, and he went to fight with Moab, and to make them tributary to him. And the children of Moab heard this thing, and they were very much afraid. And they sent to the children of Midian to assist them in fighting with Hadad, son of Bedad, king of Edom. And Hadad came unto the land of Moab, and Moab and the children of Midian went out to meet him, and they placed themselves in battle array against him in the field of Moab. And Hadad fought with Moab, and there fell of the children of Moab and the children of Midian many slain ones, about 200,000 men. And the battle was very severe upon Moab. And when the children of Moab saw that the battle was sore upon them, they weakened their hands and turned their backs and left the children of Midian to carry on the battle. And the children of Midian knew not the intentions of Moab, but they strengthened themselves in battle and fought with Hadad and all his host. And all Midian fell before him. And Hadad smote all Midian with a heavy smiting, and he slew them with the edge of the sword. He left none remaining of those who came to assist Moab. And when all the children of Midian had perished in battle, and the children of Moab had escaped, Hadad made all Moab at that time tributary to him, and they became under his hand, and they gave a yearly tax as it was ordered. And Hadad turned and went back to his land. And at the revolution of the year, when the rest of the people of Midian that were in the land heard that all their brethren had fallen in battle with Hadad for the sake of Moab, because the children of Moab had turned their backs in battle, and left Midian to fight, then 5 of the princes of Midian resolved with the rest of their brethren who remained in their land to fight with Moab to avenge the cause of their brethren. And the children of Midian sent to all their brethren, the children of the east, and all their brethren, all the children of Keturah, came to assist Midian to fight with Moab. And the children of Moab heard this thing, and they were greatly afraid that all the children of the east had assembled together against them for battle. And they, the children of Moab, sent a memorial to the land of Edom to Hadad, the son of Bedad, saying, Come now unto us, and assist us, and we will smite Midian. For they all assembled together and have come against us with all their brethren, the children of the east, to battle, to avenge the cause of Midian that fell in battle. And Hadad, son of Bedad, king of Edom, went forth with his whole army, and went to the land of Moab to fight with Midian. And Midian and the children of the east fought with Moab in the field of Moab. And the battle was very fierce between them. And Hadad smote all the children of Midian, and the children of the east with the edge of the sword. And Hadad at that time delivered Moab from the hand of Midian. And those that remained of Midian and of the children of the east fled before Hadad and his army. And Hadad pursued them to their land, and smote them with a very heavy slaughter, and the slain fell in the road. And Hadad delivered Moab from the hand of Midian, for all the children of Midian had fallen by the edge of the sword. And Hadad turned and went back to his land. And from that day forth, the children of Midian hated the children of Moab, because they had fallen in battle for their sake. And there was a great and mighty enmity between them all the days. And all that were found of Midian in the road of the land of Moab perished by the sword of Moab. And all that were found of Moab in the road of the land of Midian perished by the sword of Midian. Thus did Midian unto Moab, and Moab unto Midian for many days. And it came to pass at that time that Yahuda, the son of Yaakov, died in Mitzrayim, in the 86th year of Yaakov's going down to Mitzrayim. And Yahuda was 129 years old at his death. And they embalmed him, and put him into a coffin, and he was given into the hands of his children. And in the 89th year died Naphtali. He was 132 years old, and he was put into a coffin and given into the hands of his children. And it came to pass in the 91st year of Yasharel going down to Mitzrayim, that is in the 30th year of the reign of Zepho, the son of Eliphaz, the son of Isu, over the children of Kittim, the children of Africa came upon the children of Kittim to plunder them as usual. But they had not come upon them for these 13 years. And they came to them in that year. And Zepho, the son of Eliphaz, went out to them with some of his men, and smote them desperately. And the troops of Africa fled from before Zepho, and the slain fell before him. And Zepho and his men pursued them, going on and smiting them until they were near unto Africa. And Angeas, king of Africa, heard the thing which Zepho had done, and it vexed him exceedingly. And Angeas was afraid of Zepho all the days. Chapter 63. And in the 93rd year Levi died, the son of Yaakov in Mitzrayim. And Levi was 137 years old when he died. And they put him into a coffin, and he was given into the hands of his children. And it came to pass after the death of Levi, when all Mitzrayim saw that the sons of Yaakov, the brethren of Yosef, were dead, all the Mitzrayim began to afflict the children of Yaakov, and to embitter their lives from that day unto the day of their going forth from Mitzrayim. And they took from their hands all the vineyards and fields which Yosef had given unto them, and all the elegant houses in which the people of Yasharel lived, and all the fat of Mitzrayim. The Mitzrayim took all from the sons of Yaakov in those days. And the hand of all Mitzrayim became more grievous in those days against the children of Yasharel. And the Mitzrayim injured Yasharel until the children of Yasharel were wearied of their lives on account of the Mitzrayim. And it came to pass in those days, in the 102nd year of Yasharel's going down to Mitzrayim, that Pharaoh king of Mitzrayim died, and Melol his son reigned in his stead. And all the mighty men of Mitzrayim had all that generation which knew Yosef and his brethren died in those days. And another generation rose up in their stead, which had not known the sons of Yaakov, and all the good which they had done to them, and all their might in Mitzrayim. Therefore all Mitzrayim began from that day forth to embitter the lives of the sons of Yaakov, and to afflict them with all manner of hard labor, because they had not known their ancestors who had delivered them in the days of the famine. And this was also from Yahuwah, for the children of Yasharel, to benefit them in their latter days, in order that all the children of Yasharel might know Yahuwah Elohim, and in order to know the signs and mighty wonders which Yahuwah would do in Mitzrayim on account of his people Yasharel, in order that the children of Yasharel might fear Yahuwah Elohim of their ancestors, and walk in all his ways, they and their seed after them all the days. Melol was 20 years old when he began to reign, and he reigned 94 years, and all Mitzrayim called his name Pharaoh, after the name of his father, as it was their custom to do to every king who reigned over them in Mitzrayim. At that time, all the troops of Angeas, king of Africa, went forth to spread along the land of Kittim as usual for plunder. And Zepho, the son of Eliphaz, the son of Isu, heard their report, and he went forth to meet them with his army, and he fought them there in the road. And Zepho smote the troops of the king of Africa with the edge of the sword, and left none remaining of them, and not even one returned to his Adonai in Africa. And Angeas heard of this which Zepho the son of Eliphaz had done to all his troops, that he had destroyed them. And Angeas assembled all his troops, all the men of the land of Africa, a people numerous like the sand by the seashore. And Angeas sent to Lucas his brother, saying, Come to me with all your men, and help me to smite Zepho and all the children of Kittim, who have destroyed my men. And Lucas came with his whole army, a very great force, to assist Angeas his brother to fight with Zepho and the children of Kittim. And Zepho and the children of Kittim heard this thing, and they were greatly afraid, and a great terror fell upon their hearts. And Zepho also sent a Cepher to the land of Edom, to Hadad, the son of Bedad, king of Edom, and to all the children of Isu, saying, I have heard that Angeas, king of Africa, is coming to us with his brother for battle against us, and we are greatly afraid of him, for his army is very great, particularly as he comes against us with his brother and his army likewise. Now, therefore, come you also up with me and help me, and we will fight together against Angeas and his brother Lucas, and you will save us out of their hands. But if not, know you that we shall all die. And the children of Isu sent a Cepher to the children of Kittim and to Zepho their king, saying, We cannot fight against Angeas and his people, for a covenant of peace has been between us for these many years, from the days of Bela the first king, and from the days of Yosef the son of Yaakov, king of Mitzrayim, with whom we fought on the other side of the Yarden when he buried his father. And when Zepho heard the words of his brethren, the children of Isu, he refrained from them, and Zepho was greatly afraid of Angeas. And Angeas and Lucas his brother arrayed all their forces, about 800,000 men, against the children of Kittim. And all the children of Kittim said unto Zepho, Pray for us to the Elohim of your ancestors. Perchance he may deliver us from the hand of Angeas and his army. For we have heard that he is a great Elohim, and that he delivers all who trust in him. And Zepho heard their words, and Zepho sought Yahuwah. And he said, O Yahuwah Elohim of Abraham and Yitzhak, my ancestors, this day I know that you are the true Elohim, and all the Elohim of the nations are vain and useless. Remember now this day unto me your covenant with Abraham our father, which our ancestors related unto us, and do graciously with me this day for the sake of Abraham and Yitzhak, our fathers, and save me and the children of Kittim from the hand of the king of Africa who comes against us for battle. And Yahuwah hearkened to the voice of Zepho, and he had regard for him on the account of Abraham and Yitzhak. And Yahuwah delivered Zepho and the children of Kittim from the hand of Angeas and his people. And Zepho fought Angeas, king of Africa, and all his people on that day. And Yahuwah gave all the people of Angeas into the hands of the children of Kittim. And the battle was severe upon Angeas. And Zepho smote all the men of Angeas and Lucas his brother with the edge of the sword. And there fell from them unto the evening of that day about 400,000 men. And when Angeas saw that all his men perished, he sent a Cepher to all the inhabitants of Africa to come to him, to assist him in the battle. And he wrote in the Cepher, saying, All who are found in Africa, let them come unto me from 10 years old and upward. Let them all come unto me. And behold, if he comes not, he shall die. And all that he has, with his whole household, the king will take. And all the rest of the inhabitants of Africa were terrified at the words of Angeas. And there went out of the city about 300,000 men and boys, from 10 years upward, and they came to Angeas. And at the end of 10 days, Angeas renewed the battle against Zepho and the children of Kittim, and the battle was very great and strong between them. And from the army of Angus and Lucas, Zepho sent many of the wounded unto his land, about 200,000 men. And Sosiftar, the captain of the host of Angus, fell in that battle. And when Sosiftar had fallen, the African troops turned their backs to flee, and they fled. And Angus and Lucas, his brother, were with them. And Zepho and the children of Kittim pursued them, and they smote them still heavily on the road, about 200 men. And they pursued Asdrubal, the son of Angias, who had fled with his father. And they smote 20 of his men in the road. And Asdrubal escaped from the children of Kittim, and they did not slay him. And Angias and Lucas his brother fled with the rest of their men, and they escaped and came into Africa with terror and consternation. And Angias feared all the days lest Zepho the son of Eliphaz should go to war with him. Chapter 64. And Bilam the son of Beor was at that time with Angias in the battle. And when he saw that Zepho prevailed over Angias, he fled from there and came to Kittim. And Zepho and the children of Kittim received him with great honor. For Zepho knew Bilam's wisdom, and Zepho gave unto Bilam many gifts, and he remained with him. And when Zepho had returned from the war, he commanded all the children of Kittim to be numbered who had gone into battle with him, and behold, not one was missed. And Zepho rejoiced at this thing, and he renewed his kingdom, and he made a feast to all his subjects. But Zepho remembered not Yahuwah, and considered not that Yahuwah had helped him in the battle, and that he had delivered him and his people from the hand of the king of Africa, but still walked in the ways of the children of Kittim and the wicked children of Esau, to serve other Elohim, which his brethren, the children of Esau, had taught him. It is therefore said, from the wicked goes forth wickedness. And Zepho reigned over all the children of Kittim securely, but knew not Yahuwah, who had delivered him and all his people from the hand of the king of Africa. And the troops of Africa came no more to Kittim to plunder as usual, for they knew of the power of Zepho, who had smitten them all at the edge of the sword. So Angias was afraid of Zepho, the son of Eliphaz, and of the children of Kittim all the days. At that time, when Zepho had returned from the war, and when Zepho had seen how he prevailed over all the people of Africa, and had smitten them in battle at the edge of the sword, then Zepho advised with the children of Kittim to go to Mitzrayim to fight with the sons of Yaakov and with Pharaoh king of Mitzrayim. For Zepho had heard that the mighty men of Mitzrayim were dead, and that Yosef and his brethren, the sons of Yaakov, were dead, and that all their children, the children of Yasharel, remained in Mitzrayim. And Zepho considered to go to fight against them and all Mitzrayim, to avenge the cause of his brethren, the children of Esau, whom Yosef with his brethren and all Mitzrayim had smitten in the land of Canaan, when they went up to bury Yaakov in Hebron. And Zepho sent messengers to Hadad, son of Bedad, king of Edom, and to all his brethren, the children of Esau, saying, Did you not say that you would not fight against the king of Africa, for he is a member of your covenant? Behold, I fought with him, and smote him, and all his people. Now, therefore, I have resolved to fight against Mitzrayim and the children of Yaakov, who are there, and I will be revenged of them for what Yosef, his brethren, and ancestors did to us in the land of Canaan, when they went up to bury their father in Hebron. Now then, if you are willing to come to me, to assist me in fighting against them and Mitzrayim, then shall we avenge the cause of our brethren. And the children of Esau hearkened to the words of Zepho, and the children of Esau gathered themselves together, a very great people, and they went to assist Zepho and the children of Kittim in battle. And Zepho sent to all the children of the east and to all the children of Yishmael with words like unto these. And they gathered themselves and came to the assistance of Zepho and the children of Kittim in the war upon Mitzrayim. And all these kings, the king of Edom, and the children of the east, and all the children of Yishmael, and Zepho, the king of Kittim, went forth, and arrayed all their hosts in Hebron. And the camp was very heavy, extending in length a distance of 3 days' journey, a people numerous as the sand upon the seashore, which cannot be counted. And all these kings and their hosts went down and came against all Mizraim in battle, and encamped together in the valley of Pathros. And all Mizraim heard their report, and they also gathered themselves together, all the people of the land of Mizraim, and of all the cities belonging to Mizraim, about 300,000 men. And the men of Mizraim sent also to the children of Yasharel, who were in those days in the land of Goshen, to come to them in order to go and fight with these kings. And the men of Yasharel assembled and were about 150 men, and they went into battle to assist the Mitzrayim. And the men of Yasharel and of Mitzrayim went forth, about 300,000 men and 150 men. And they went toward these kings to battle, and they placed themselves from without the land of Goshen opposite Pathros. And the Mitzrayim believed not in Yasharel to go with them in their camps together for battle. For all the Mitzrayim said, perhaps the children of Yasharel will deliver us into the hand of the children of Esau and Yishmael, for they are their brethren. And all the Mitzrayim said unto the children of Yasharel, remain here together in your stand, and we will go and fight against the children of Esau and Yishmael. And if these kings should prevail over us, then come you all together upon them and assist us. And the children of Yasharel did so. And Zepho, the son of Eliphaz, the son of Esau, king of Kittim, and Hadad, the son of Bedad, king of Edom, and all their camps, and all the children of the east, and the children of Ishmael, a people numerous as sand, encamped together in the valley of Pathros, opposite Tachpanhes. And Bilam, the son of Beor, the Arami, was there in the camp of Zepho, for he came with the children of Kittim to the battle. And Bilam was a man highly honored in the eyes of Zepho and his men. And Zepho said unto Bilam, try by divination for us that we may know who will prevail in the battle, we or the Mitzrayim. And Bilam rose up and tried the art of divination, and he was skillful in the knowledge of it. But he was confused, and the work was destroyed in his hand. And he tried it again, but it did not succeed. And Bilam despaired of it, and left it, and did not complete it. For this was from Yahuwah, in order to cause Zepho and his people to fall into the hand of the children of Yasharel, who had trusted in Yahuwah, the Elohim of their ancestors, in their war. And Zepho and Hadad put their forces in battle array, and all the Mitzrayim went alone against them, about 300,000 men, and not one man of Yasharel was with them. And all the Mitzrayim fought with the kings opposite Pathros and Tachpanhes, and the battle was severe against the Mitzrayim. And the kings were stronger than the Mitzrayim in that battle. And about 180 men of Mitzrayim fell on that day. And about 30 men of the forces of the kings, and all the men of Mitzrayim fled from before the kings. So the children of Esau and Yishmael pursued the Mitzrayim, continuing to smite them unto the place where was the camp of the children of Yasharel. And all the Mitzrayim cried unto the children of Yasharel, saying, hasten to us, and assist us, and save us from the hand of Esau, Yishmael, and the children of Kittim. And the 150 men of the children of Yasharel ran from their station to the camps of these kings. And the children of Yasharel cried unto Yahuwah Elohim to deliver them. And Yahuwah hearkened to Yasharel, and Yahuwah gave all the men of the kings into their hand. And the children of Yasharel fought against these kings, and the children of Yasharel smote about 4,000 of the king's men. And Yahuwah threw a great consternation in the camp of the kings, so that the fear of the children of Yasharel fell upon them. And all the hosts of the kings fled from before the children of Yasharel. And the children of Yasharel pursued them, continuing to smite them unto the borders of the land of Cush. And the children of Yasharel slew of them in the road yet 2,000 men. And of the children of Yasharel not one fell. And when the Mitzrayim saw that the children of Yasharel had fought with such few men with the kings, and that the battle was so very severe against them, all the Mitzrayim were greatly afraid of their lives on account of the strong battle, and all the Mitzrayim fled, every man hiding himself from the arrayed forces, and they hid themselves in the road, and they left Yasharel to fight. And the children of Yasharel inflicted a terrible blow upon the king's men, and they returned from them after they had driven them to the border of the land of Cush. And all Yasharel knew the thing which the men of Mitzrayim had done to them, that they had fled from them in the battle, and had left them to fight alone. So the children of Yasharel also acted with cunning, and as the children of Yasharel returned from battle, they found some of the Mitzrayim in the road, and smote them there. And while they slew them, they said unto them these words: Wherefore did you go from us, and leave us, being a few people, to fight against these kings, who had a great people to smite us, that you might thereby deliver your own souls? And of some which Yasharel met on the road, they, the children of Yasharel, spoke to each other, saying, Smite, smite, for he is a Yishmaeli, or an Edomi, or from the children of Kittim. And they stood over him and slew him, and they knew that he was a Mitzri. And the children of Yasharel did these things cunningly against the Mitzrayim, because they had deserted them in battle, and had fled from them. And the children of Yasharel slew of the men of Mitzrayim in the road, in this manner, about 200 men. And all the men of Mitzrayim saw the evil which the children of Yasharel had done to them. So all Mitzrayim feared greatly the children of Yasharel, for they had seen their great power, and that not one man of them had fallen. So all the children of Yasharel returned with joy on their road to Goshen, and the rest of Mitzrayim returned each man to his place. Chapter 65. And it came to pass after these things that all the counselors of Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, and all the elders of Mitzrayim assembled and came before the king and bowed down to the ground. And they sat before him. And the counselors and the elders of Mitzrayim spoke unto the king, saying, Behold, the people of the children of Yasharel is greater and mightier than we are. And you know all the evil which they did to us in the road when we returned from battle. And you have also seen their strong power. For this power is unto them from their fathers. For but a few men stood up against a people numerous as the sand, and smote them at the edge of the sword, and of themselves not one has fallen. So that if they had been numerous, they would then have utterly destroyed them. Now, therefore, give us counsel what to do with them, until we gradually destroy them from amongst us, lest they become too numerous for us in the land. For if the children of Yasharel should increase in the land, they will become an obstacle to us. And if any war should happen to take place, they with their great strength will join our enemy against us, and fight against us, destroy us from the land, and go away with it. So the king answered the elders of Mitzrayim, and said unto them, This is the plan advised against Yasharel, from which we will not depart. Behold, in the land are Pithom and Ramses, cities unfortified against battle. It behooves you and us to build them, and to fortify them. Now, therefore, go you also and act cunningly toward them, and proclaim a voice in Mitzrayim and in Goshen at the command of the king, saying, All you men of Mitzrayim, Goshen, Pathros, and all their inhabitants, the king has commanded us to build Pithom and Ramses, and to fortify them for battle. Who amongst you of all Mitzrayim, of the children of Yasharel, and of all the inhabitants of the cities, are willing to build with us? Shall each have his wages given to him daily at the king's order. So go you first and do cunningly, and gather yourselves and come to Pithom and Ramses to build. And while you are building, cause a proclamation of this kind to be made throughout Mitzrayim every day at the command of the king. And when some of the children of Yasharel shall come to build with you, you shall give them their wages daily for a few days. And after they shall have built with you for their daily hire, drag yourselves away from them daily, one by one in secret. And then you shall rise up and become their taskmasters and officers, and you shall leave them afterward to build without wages. And should they refuse, then force them with all your might to build. And if you do this, it will be well with us to strengthen our land against the children of Yasharel. For on account of the fatigue of the building and the work, the children of Yasharel will decrease, because you will deprive them from their women day by day. And all the elders of Mitzrayim heard the counsel of the king, and the counsel seemed good in their eyes, and in the eyes of the servants of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all Mitzrayim. And they did according to the word of the king. And all the servants went away from the king, and they caused a proclamation to be made in all Mitzrayim, in Tachphanes, and in Goshen, and in all the cities which surrounded Mitzrayim, saying, You have seen what the children of Esau and Ishmael did to us, who came to war against us, and wished to destroy us. Now, therefore, the king commanded us to fortify the land, to build the cities Pithom and Ramses, and to fortify them for battle, if they should again come against us. Whosoever of you from all Mitzrayim and from the children of Yasharel will come to build with us, he shall have his daily wages given by the king, as his command is unto us. And when Mitzrayim and all the children of Yasharel heard all that the servants of Pharaoh had spoken, there came from the Mitzrayim and the children of Yasharel to build with the servants of Pharaoh, Pithom and Ramses. But none of the children of Levi came with their brethren to build. And all the servants of Pharaoh and his princes came at first with deceit, to build with all Yasharel as daily hired laborers. And they gave to Yasharel their daily hire at the beginning. And the servants of Pharaoh built with all Yasharel, and were employed in that work with Yasharel for a month. And at the end of the month, all the servants of Pharaoh began to withdraw secretly from the people of Yasharel daily. And Yasharel went on with the work at that time. But they then received their daily hire, because some of the men of Mitzrayim were yet carrying on the work with Yasharel at that time. Therefore the Mitzrayim gave Yasharel their hire in those days, in order that they, the Mitzrayim, their fellow workmen, might also take the pay for their labor. And at the end of a year and 4 months, all the Mitzrayim had withdrawn from the children of Yasharel, so that the children of Yasharel were left alone engaged in the work. And after all the Mitzrayim had withdrawn from the children of Yasharel, they returned and became oppressors and officers over them. And some of them stood over the children of Yasharel as taskmasters, to receive from them all that they gave them for the pay of their labor. And the Mitzrayim did in this manner to the children of Yasharel day by day, in order to afflict in their work. And all the children of Yasharel were alone engaged in the labor. And the Mitzrayim refrained from giving any pay to the children of Yasharel from that time forward. And when some of the men of Yasharel refused to work on account of the wages not being given to them, then the exactors and the servants of Pharaoh oppressed them and smote them with heavy blows, and made them return by force to labor with their brethren. Thus did all the Mitzrayim unto the children of Yasharel all the days. And all the children of Yasharel were greatly afraid of the Mitzrayim in this matter. And all the children of Yasharel returned and worked alone without pay. And the children of Yasharel built Pithom and Ramses, and all the children of Yasharel did the work, some making bricks, and some building. And the children of Yasharel built and fortified all the land of Mitzrayim and its walls. And the children of Yasharel were engaged in work for many years, until the time came when Yahuwah remembered them and brought them out of Mitzrayim. But the children of Levi were not employed in the work with their brethren of Yasharel, from the beginning unto the day of their going forth from Mitzrayim. For all the children of Levi knew that the Mitzrayim had spoken all these words with deceit to Yasharel. Therefore the children of Levi refrained from approaching to the work with their brethren. And the Mitzrayim did not direct their attention to make the children of Levi work afterward, since they had not been with their brethren at the beginning. Therefore the Mitzrayim left them alone. And the hands of the men of Mitzrayim were directed with continued severity against the children of Yasharel in that work. And the Mitzrayim made the children of Yasharel work with rigor. And the Mitzrayim embittered the lives of the children of Yasharel with hard work in mortar, in bricks, and also in all manner of work in the field. And the children of Yasharel called Melol, the king of Mitzrayim, Meror, king of Mitzrayim, because in his days the Mitzrayim had embittered their lives with all manner of work. And all the work wherein the Mitzrayim had made the children of Yasharel labor, they exacted with rigor in order to afflict the children of Yasharel. But the more they afflicted them, the more they increased and grew. And the Mitzrayim were grieved because of the children of Yasharel. Chapter 66. At that time died Hadad, the son of Bedad, king of Edom, and Samlah from Mesrakah, from the country of the children of the east, reigned in his place. In the 13th year of the reign of Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, which was the 125th year of Yasharel going down into Mitzrayim, Samlah had reigned over Edom 18 years. And when he reigned, he drew forth his hosts to go and fight against Cepher, the son of Eliphaz, and the children of Kittim, because they had made war against Angeas, king of Africa, and they destroyed his whole army. But he did not engage with him, for the children of Esau prevented him, saying, he was their brother. So Samlah listened to the voice of the children of Esau, and turned back with all his forces to the land of Edom, and did not proceed to fight against Cepher, the son of Eliphaz. And Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, heard this thing, saying, Samlah, the king of Edom, has resolved to fight the children of Kittim, and afterward he will come to fight against Mitzrayim. And when the Mitzrayim heard this matter, they increased their labor upon the children of Yasharel, lest Yasharel should do unto them as they did unto them in their war with the children of Esau in the days of Hadad. So the Mitzrayim said unto the children of Yasharel, hasten and do your work, and finish your task, and strengthen the land, lest the children of Esau, your brethren, should come to fight against us. For on your account will they come against us. And the children of Yasharel did the work of the men of Mitzrayim day by day. And the Mitzrayim afflicted the children of Yasharel in order to lessen them in the land. But as the Mitzrayim increased the labor upon the children of Yasharel, so did the children of Yasharel increase and multiply, and all Mitzrayim was filled with the children of Yasharel. And in the 125th year of Yasharel's going down into Mitzrayim, all the Mitzrayim saw that their counsel did not succeed against Yasharel, but that they increased and grew. And the land of Mitzrayim and the land of Goshen were filled with the children of Yasharel. So all the elders of Mitzrayim and its wise men came before the king and bowed down to him and sat before him. And all the elders of Mitzrayim and the wise men thereof said unto the king, may the king live forever. You did counsel us, the counsel against the children of Yasharel, and we did unto them according to the word of the king. But in proportion to the increase of the labor, so do they increase and grow in the land. And behold, the whole country is filled with them. Now, therefore, our Adonai and king, the eyes of all Mitzrayim are upon you to give them advice with your wisdom, by which they may prevail over Yasharel to destroy them, or to diminish them from the land. And the king answered them, saying, give you counsel in this matter, that we may know what to do unto them. And an officer, one of the king's counselors, whose name was Ebov, from Aram Naharaim, in the land of Uz, answered the king, saying, if it please the king, let him hear the counsel of his servant. And the king said unto him, speak. And Ebov spoke before the king, the princes, and before all the elders of Mitzrayim, saying, behold, the counsel of the king, which he advised formerly respecting the labor of the children of Yasharel, is very good. And you must not remove from them that labor forever. But this is the advice counseled by which you may lessen them, if it seems good to the king to afflict them. Behold, we have feared war for a long time. And we said, when Yasharel becomes fruitful in the land, they will drive us from the land if a war should take place. If it please the king, let a royal decree go forth, and let it be written in the laws of Mitzrayim, which shall not be revoked, that every male child born to Yasharel, his blood shall be spilled upon the ground. And by your doing this, when all the male children of Yasharel have died, the evil of their wars will cease. Let the king do so, and send for all the Ivri midwives, and order them in this matter to execute it. So the thing pleased the king and the princess, and the king did according to the word of Yevov. And the king sent for the Ivri midwives to be called, of which the name of one was Shephrah, and the name of the other Puah. And the midwives came before the king, and stood in his presence. And the king said unto them, When you do the office of a midwife to the Ivrith woman, and see them upon the stools, if it be a son, then you shall kill him. But if it be a daughter, then she shall live. But if you will not do this thing, then will I burn you up and all your houses with fire. But the midwives feared Elohim, and did not hearken to the king of Mitzrayim, nor to his words. And when the Ivrith women brought forth to the midwife son or daughter, then did the midwife do all that was necessary to the child, and let it live. Thus did the midwives all the days. And this thing was told to the king, and he sent and called for the midwives. And he said to them, Why have you done this thing, and have saved the children alive? And the midwives answered and spoke together before the king, saying, Let not the king think that the Ivrit women are as the Mitzrith women. For all the children of Yasharel are lively, and before the midwife comes to them, they are delivered. And as for us, your handmaids, for many days no Ivri woman has brought forth upon us, for all the Ivrit women are their own midwives, because they are lively. And Pharaoh heard their words and believed them in this matter. And the midwives went away from the king, and Elohim dealt well with them, and the people multiplied and waxed exceedingly. Chapter 67. There was a man in the land of Mitzrayim, of the seed of Levi, whose name was Amram, the son of Kohath, the son of Levi, the son of Yasharel. And this man went and took a woman, namely Yocheved, the daughter of Levi, his father's sister. And she was 126 years old, and he came unto her. And the woman conceived and bore a daughter, and she called her name Miriam, because in those days the Mitzrim had embittered the lives of the children of Yasharel. And she conceived again, and bore a son, and she called his name Aaron. For in the days of her conception, Pharaoh began to spill the blood of the male children of Yasharel. In those days died Zepho, the son of Eliphaz, son of Isu, king of Kittim, and Janias reigned in his stead. At the time that Zepho reigned over the children of Kittim was 50 years, and he died and was buried in the city of Nabna, in the land of Kittim. And Janias, one of the mighty men of the children of Kittim, reigned after him, and he reigned 50 years. And it was after the death of the king of Kittim that Balaam, the son of Beor, fled from the land of Kittim, and he went and came to Mitzrayim, to Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim. And Pharaoh received him with great honor, for he had heard of his wisdom. And he gave him presents, and made him for a counselor, and aggrandized him. And Balaam dwelt in Mitzrayim, and honor with all the nobles of the king, and the nobles exalted him, because they all coveted to learn his wisdom. And in the 130th year of Yasharel's going down to Mitzrayim, Pharaoh dreamed that he was sitting upon his kingly throne, and lifted up his eyes, and saw an old man standing before him. And there were scales in the hands of the old man, such scales as are used by merchants. And the old man took the scales and hung them before Pharaoh. And the old man took all the elders of Mitzrayim, and all its nobles and great men, and he tied them together and put them in one scale. And he took a milk kid and put it into the other scale, and the kid preponderated over all. And Pharaoh was astonished at this dreadful vision, why the kid should preponderate over all. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And Pharaoh rose up early in the morning and called all his servants and related to them the dream. And the men were greatly afraid. And the king said to all his wise men, interpret, I pray you, the dream which I dreamed, that I may know it. And Bilam, the son of Beor, answered the king and said unto him, this means nothing else but a great evil that will spring up against Mitzrayim in the latter days. For a son will be born to Yasharel, who will destroy all Mitzrayim and its inhabitants, and bring forth Yasharel from Mitzrayim with a mighty hand. Now, therefore, O king, take counsel upon this matter, that you may destroy the hope of the children of Yasharel and their expectation, before this evil arise against Mitzrayim. And the king said unto Bilam, and what shall we do unto Yasharel? Surely after a certain manner did we at first counsel against them, and could not prevail over them. Now therefore give you also advice against them, by which we may prevail over them. And Bilam answered the king, saying, send now and call your 2 counselors, and we will see what their advice is upon this matter, and afterward your servant will speak. And the king sent and called his 2 counselors, Reuel the Midiani, and Eovov the Yutzi. And they came and sat before the king. And the king said to them, behold, you have both heard the dream which I have dreamed, and the interpretation thereof. Now, therefore give counsel, and know and see what is to be done to the children of Yasharel, whereby we may prevail over them, before their evil shall spring up against us. And Reuel the Midiani answered the king and said, may the king live, may the king live forever. If it seems good to the king, let him desist from the Ephraim, and leave them, and let him not stretch forth his hand against them. For these are they whom Yahuwah chose in the days of old, and took as the lot of his inheritance from amongst all the nations of the earth, and the kings of the earth. And who is there that stretched his hand against them with impunity, of whom their Elohim was not avenged? Surely you know that when Abraham went down to Mitzrayim, Pharaoh, the former king of Mitzrayim, saw Sarah his woman, and took her for a woman, because Abraham said, she is my sister. For he was afraid, lest the men of Mitzrayim should slay him on account of his woman. And when the king of Mitzrayim had taken Sarah, then Elohim smote him and his household with heavy plagues, until he restored unto Abraham his woman Sarah. Then was he healed. And Abimelech, the Gerari, king of the Philistine, Elohim punished on account of Sarah, the woman of Abraham, and stopping up every womb from man to beast. When their Elohim came to Abimelech in the dream of night, and terrified him, in order that he might restore to Abraham Sarah, whom he had taken. And afterward all the people of Gerar were punished on account of Sarah. And Abraham prayed to his Elohim for them, and he was entreated of him, and he healed them. And Abimelech feared all this evil that came upon him and his people, and he returned to Abraham his woman Sarah, and gave him with her many gifts. He did so also to Yitzhak, when he had driven him from Gerar. And Elohim had done wonderful things to him, that all the water courses of Gerar were dried up, and their productive trees did not bring forth, until Abimelech of Gerar, and Achuzath, one of his friends, and Pichol, the captain of his host, went to him, and they bent and bowed down before him to the ground. And they requested of him to supplicate for them. And he prayed to Yahuwah for them. And Yahuwah was entreated of him, and he healed them. Yaakov also, the plain man, was delivered through his integrity from the hand of his brother Esau, and the hand of Laban, the Arami, his mother's brother, who had sought his life. Likewise, from the hand of all the kings of Canaan, who had come together against him and his children to destroy them. And Yahuwah delivered them out of their hands, that they turned upon them and smote them. For who had ever stretched forth his hand against them with impunity? Surely Pharaoh the former your father's father, raised Yosef, the son of Yaakov, above all the princes of the land of Mitzrayim, when he saw his wisdom. For through his wisdom he rescued all the inhabitants of the land from the famine. After which he ordered Yaakov and his children to come down to Mitzrayim, in order that through their virtue the land of Mitzrayim and the land of Goshen might be delivered from the famine. Now, therefore, if it seems good in your eyes, cease from destroying the children of Yasharel. But if it be not your will that they shall dwell in Mitzrayim, send them forth from here, that they may go to the land of Canaan, the land where their ancestors sojourned. And when Pharaoh heard the words of Yithro, he was very angry with him, so that he rose with shame from the king's presence and went to Midian, his land, and took Yosef's stick with him. And the king said to Eov, the Yutzi, what say you, Eov? And what is your advice respecting the Ephraim? So Eov said to the king, behold, all the inhabitants of the land are in your power. Let the king do as it seems good in his eyes. And the king said unto Bilam, what do you say, Bilam? Speak your word so that we may hear it. And Bilam said to the king, of all that the king has counseled against the Ephraim will they be delivered, and the king will not be able to prevail over them with any counsel. For if you think to lessen them by the flaming fire, you cannot prevail over them. For surely their Elohim delivered Abraham, their father, from Ur of the Kasdim. And if you think to destroy them with a sword, surely Yitzhak, their father, was delivered from it, and a ram was placed in his stead. And if with hard and rigorous labor you think to lessen them, you will not prevail even in this. For their father Yaakov served Laban in all manner of hard work and prospered. Now therefore, O king, hear my words. For this is the counsel which is counseled against them, by which you will prevail over them, and from which you should not depart. If it pleases the king, let him order all their children which shall be born from this day forward to be thrown into the water. For by this can you wipe away their name, for none of them, nor of their fathers, were tried in this manner. And the king heard the words of Bilam, and the thing pleased the king and the princes, and the king did according to the word of Bilam. And the king ordered a proclamation to be issued and a law to be made throughout the land of Mitzrayim, saying, every male child born to the Ephraim from this day forward shall be thrown into the water. And Pharaoh called unto all his servants, saying, go now and seek throughout the land of Goshen, where the children of Yasharel are, and see that every son born to the Ephraim shall be cast into the river, but every daughter you shall let live. And when the children of Yasharel heard this thing which Pharaoh had commanded, to cast their male children into the river, some of the people separated from their women, and others adhered to them. And from that day forward, when the time of delivery arrived to those women of Yasharel who had remained with their men, they went to the field to bring forth there, and they brought forth in the field, and left their children upon the field, and returned home. And Yahuwah, who had sworn to their ancestors to multiply them, sent one of his ministering angels, which are in heaven, to wash each child in water, to anoint, and to swathe it, and to put it into its hands, two smooth stones, from one of which it sucked milk, and from the other honey. And he caused its hair to grow to its knees, by which it might cover itself, to comfort it, and to cleave to it, through his compassion for it. And when Elohim had compassion over them, and had desired to multiply them upon the face of the land, he ordered his earth to receive them to be preserved therein till the time of their growing up. After which the earth opened its mouth and vomited them forth, and they sprouted forth from the city like the herb of the earth and the grass of the forest. And they returned each to his family and to his father's house, and they remained with them. And the babes of the children of Yasharel were upon the earth like the herb of the field, through Elohim's grace to them. And when all the Mitzrayim saw this thing, they went forth, each to his field with his yoke of oxen and his plowshare. And they plowed it up, as one plows the earth at seed time. And when they plowed, they were unable to hurt the infants of the children of Yasharel. So the people increased and waxed exceedingly. And Pharaoh ordered his officers daily to go to Goshen to seek for the babes of the children of Yasharel. And when they had sought and found one, they took it from its mother's bosom by force and threw it into the river. But the female child they left with its mother. Thus did the Mitzrayim do to Yasharel all the days. Chapter 68. And it was at that time the Ruach Elohim was upon Miriam, the daughter of Amram, the sister of Aaron. And she went forth and prophesied about the house, saying, Behold, a son will be born unto us from my father and mother this time, and he will save Yasharel from the hands of Mitzrayim. And when Amram heard the words of his daughter, he went and took his woman back to the house, after he had driven her away at the time when Pharaoh ordered every male child of the house of Yaakov to be thrown into the water. So Amram took Yocheved his woman, 3 years after he had driven her away, and he came to her, and she conceived. And at the end of 7 months from her conception, she brought forth a son. And the whole house was filled with great light as of the light of the sun and moon at the time of their shining. And when the woman saw the child that it was good and pleasing to the sight, she hid it for 3 months in an inner room. In those days, the Mitzrayim conspired to destroy all the Ivrim there. And the Mitzrayim women went to Goshen where the children of Yasharel were, and they carried their young ones upon their shoulders, their babes who could not yet speak. And in those days, when the women of the children of Yasharel brought forth, each woman had hidden her son from before the Mitzrayim, that the Mitzrayim might not know of their bringing forth, and might not destroy them from the land. And the Mitzrayim women came to Goshen, and their children, who could not speak, were upon their shoulders. And when a Mitzri woman came into the house of an Ivri woman, her babe began to cry. And when it cried, the child that was in the inner room answered it. So the Mitzrayim women went and told it at the house of Pharaoh. And Pharaoh sent his officers to take the children and slay them. Thus did the Mitzrayim to the Ivriith women all the days. And it was at that time, about 3 months from Yocheved's concealment of her son, that the thing was known in Pharaoh's house. And the woman hastened to take away her son before the officers came. And she took for him an ark of bulrushes, and daubed it with slime and with pitch, and put the children therein, and put the child therein. And she laid it in the reeds by the river's bank. And his sister Miriam stood afar off to know what would be done to him, and what would become of her words. And Elohim sent forth at that time a terrible heat in the land of Mitzrayim, which burned up the flesh of man like the sun in his circuit, and it greatly oppressed the Mitzrayim. And all the Mitzrayim went down to bathe in the river on account of the consuming heat, which burned up their flesh. And Bathia, the daughter of Pharaoh, went also to bathe in the river, owing to the consuming heat. And her maidens walked at the riverside, and all the women of Mitzrayim as well. And Bathia lifted up her eyes to the river, and she saw the ark upon the water, and sent her maid to fetch it. And she opened it and saw the child. And behold, the babe wept, and she had compassion on him. And she said, This is one of the Ivri children. And all the women of Mitzrayim walking on the river side desired to give him suck. But he would not suck, for this thing was from Yahuwah, in order to restore him to his mother's breast. And Miriam, his sister, was at that time amongst the Mitzrayim women at the riverside. And she saw this thing, and she said to Pharaoh's daughter, Shall I go and fetch a nurse of the Ivrit women, that she may nurse the child for you? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, Go. And the young woman went and called the child's mother. And Pharaoh's daughter said to Yocheved, Take this child away, and suckle it for me, and I will pay you your wages, 2 bits of silver daily. And the woman took the child and nursed it. And at the end of 2 years, when the child grew up, she brought him to the daughter of Pharaoh, and he was unto her as a son. And she called his name Moshe. For she said, Because I drew him out of the water. And Amram his father called his name Chabar. For he said, It was for him that he associated with his woman whom he had turned away. And Jochebed, his mother, called his name Yakuthiel, because, she said, I have hoped for him to El Shaddai, and Elohim restored him unto me. And Miriam, his sister, called his name Yared, for she descended after him to the river to know what his end would be. And Aaron, his brother, called his name Avi Zanuk, saying, My father left my mother and returned to her on his account. And Kohath, the father of Amram, called his name Abigdor, because on his account did Elohim repair the breach of the house of Yaakov, that they could no longer throw their male children into the water. And their nurse called him Avi Soko, saying, In his tabernacle was he hidden for 3 months, on account of the children of Ham. And all Yasharel called his name Shemayahu, son of Nethanel, for they said, In his days has Elohim heard their cries and rescued them from their oppressors. And Moshe was in Pharaoh's house and was unto Bathia, Pharaoh's daughter, as a son. And Moshe grew up amongst the king's children. Chapter 69. And the king of Edom died in those days, in the 18th year of his reign, and he was buried in his temple which he had built for himself as his royal residence in the land of Edom. And the children of Esau sent to Bethor, which is upon the river, and they fetched from there a young man of beautiful eyes and comely aspect, whose name was Shaul, and they made him king over them in the palace of Samlah. And Shaul reigned over all the children of Esau in the land of Edom for 40 years. And when Pharaoh, king of Mitzrayim, saw that the counsel which Bilam had advised respecting the children of Yasharel did not succeed, but that still they were very fruitful, multiplied, and increased throughout the land of Mitzrayim, then Pharaoh commanded in those days that a proclamation should be issued throughout Mitzrayim to the children of Yasharel, saying, No man shall diminish anything of his daily labor. And the man who shall be found deficient in his labor, which he performs daily, whether in mortar or in bricks, then his youngest son shall be put in their place. And the labor of Mitzrayim strengthened upon the children of Yasharel in those days. And behold, if one brick was deficient in any man's daily labor, the Mitzrayim took his youngest boy by force from his mother, and put him into the building in the place of the brick which his father had left wanting. And the men of Mitzrayim did so to all the children of Yasharel, day by day, all the days for a long period. But the tribe of Levi did not at that time work with Yasharel their brethren from the beginning, for the children of Levi knew the cunning of the Mitzrayim, which they exercised at first toward Yasharel. That is the end of chapter 69. Psalms, Tehilliym, chapter 76. To the chief musician, Negeana, a Mizmor or son of Asaph. In Yehuda is Elohim known. His name is great in Yasharel. In Shalem also is his tabernacle, and his dwelling place in Zion. There he broke the arrows of the bow, the shield and the sword, and the battle. Selah. You are more glorious and excellent than the mountains of prey. The stout-hearted are spoiled. They have slept their sleep, and none of the men of might have found their hands. At your rebuke, O Eloi of Yaakov, both the chariot and horse are cast into a dead sleep. You, even you, are to be feared. And who may stand in your sight when once you are angry? You did cause judgment to be heard from heaven. The earth feared and was still. When Elohim arose to judgment to save all the meek of the earth, Selah, surely the wrath of man shall praise you. The remainder of wrath shall you restrain. Vow and pray unto Yahuwah Elohim. Let all that be round about him bring presents unto him that ought to be feared. He shall cut off the ruach of princes. He is terrible to the kings of the earth. Hallelujah. All praise and glory to the Most High Yahuwah. Thank you for this time. Thank you for following along. Continue to study. I will see you in the next reading. Shalom.